Okay, mga kabombo, welcome po sa ating programang Good Morning Philippines. Ayan, tuloy-tuloy tayo mga kabombo sa pagbabahagi ng mga samut-saring impormasyon at mga mahahalagang mga kwento mga kabombo or alam mo, kwento ng tagumpay and syempre mga balita pa rin and entertainment na atin pong tinutukan. Sige, and ito pong muli ang inyong lingkod, si Bombo Kier. And syempre mga kabombo, ito i-welcome na po natin ang atin pong sunod na bisita ngayong umaga para pag-usapan po natin yung kanya namang naging journey mga kabombo. And sali na rin natin mga kabombo yung kanyang mga nagawa, achievement sa pagiging tawag nito, City Youth Councilor. Dito yan sa Naga City mga kabombo. Okay, ito na mga kabombo, wag na nating patagalin pa. Kapiling na po natin sa linya ng ating komunikasyon. Ito po si Sir Gian Marco Balane Rances. Ayan, ang atin pong City Youth First Councilor and the Naga City Scholars Guild President-elect. So ito, magandang umaga po Sir Gian. Ayan, tawagin ko na lang po kayong Sir or Consi Gian. Welcome po sa ating programa. Si Bombo Kier po ito, Sir, and bati muna kayo sa atin pong mga listeners and viewers po.
Magandang umaga po sa ating mga butihing tagapagsubaybay ngayon dito sa ating programa, and thank you ulit Sir Kier sa opportunity na binigay nyo sa akin. So, I'm ready na po.
Okay, yun. So ito, Sir Gian or Consi Gian, umpisahan natin ang ating tanungan. Unang tanong natin, Sir, bakit kayo, Sir, pumasok sa pagiging public servant sa murang edad? Ano ba yung nag-motivate sa atin, Sir Gian?
Actually, Sir Kier, before wala akong naging motivation or I have no intentions to join or to be part of the Naga City Youth Officials Program and to be in the position and role na ginampanan ko throughout the 1-year term. Pero sa loob nung isang taon ko as City Youth Official, naging groundwork niya siya para sa akin because at first, I was immersed in the system of governance in the city. Pangalawa dun, naturuan ako firsthand ng mga city officials through the counterpart system and some city employees regarding the nature ng trabaho nila and yung mga services ng city to the citizenry. Like for this instance, Sir Kier, ako naging City Youth Councilor and we have this term called borrowed power. Kasi technically, hinihiram namin yung responsibilities, obligations, and responsibilities ng mga counterparts namin. So that is the reason why naging possible for us na makapagpasa kami ng mga legislation that would help the citizenry of the city. So dahil naman doon sa mga naging experiences ko as City Youth Official, Sir Kier, that I was motivated as a student leader, future educator, and maybe even, if the term is correct, as a public servant, to be committed to the public interest. I have also instilled myself the sense of civic responsibility, Sir Kier, and compassion and social justice, especially dun sa mga members ng vulnerable sectors and the marginalized. Kasi, Sir Kier, I believe that those who have less in life should have more in law and services provided by the government. And siguro self-sacrifice na din kasi as a public servant, uunahin mo yung kapakanan ng nakakarami, kapakanan ng community, instead of prioritizing your personal gains. So, kasi hindi ako type ng person na nag-e-enjoy ng mga privileges, kung ano man yung pinoprovide na privileges ng sistema na in-establish to instead serve and improve the society and public. And these established motivations, I can tell and I am sure that this would be reflected in my newly found commitment as president of the Naga City Scholars Guild. So yun po yung naging motivation ko, and apparently yun na din yung naging reason ko kung bakit pumasok ako sa public service with a young age. So yun po.
Okay po. Ito, Sir, maisingit ko lang Consi Gian, kasi nag-wonder ako, ilang taon na kayo, Sir, na City Youth Councilor, Sir Gian?
Actually po, nung nag-City Youth ako, I was 20 years old last year lang. Kasi sa City Youth Officials Program, we are only granted a 1-year term, and sa 1 year na yan, 45 days lang kami. Like 45 days lang kami sa City Hall in a proper way. Doon kami mag-session. Yun na din yun. Talagang 1 year lang. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity for every Nagueño youth na maging city youth official. And I can now say na I'm proud na naging member ako of this exquisite and the most competitive program dito sa city. So yun po ang naging ko.
Okay.
Sa akin lang naman sa city.
So dito, sir, ito maisingit ko ulit, Con CG yan, ano? Kumusta naman, sir, yung yung sabi ng inyong parent nung kayo ay pumasok or nang anuhin nyo itong larangang ito sa pagiging City Youth Councilor? Hindi ka naman po ba nila pinigilan, Sir Gian? Ay na, uy, mahirap dyan. Wag yan ang tahakin mo. Wala namang mga ganon, sir.
As a matter of fact, Sir Kier, hindi ko sa kanila na disclose, hindi ko na disclose sa parents ko na nag-submit ako na applications, na nag-exams ako. But rather nalaman na lang nila na nasa program na ako when the top 48 had been released by the city government. So yung naging reaction nila, of course, they are proud of me and they have entrusted in me their faith as expected from coming from my parents. Talagang yun din yung naging isa sa motivation ko to proceed and to actually nagampanan yung mga borrowed responsibility and obligations ko sa city councilor. I am proud na meron akong parents na would always be behind me and support me in whatever I will take in my journey as a human being.
Opo, iyon. So dito, sir, dito na tayo sa atin pong mga endeavor sa pagiging city councilor. Ano ba, sir, yung yung pinaka-memorable na karanasan natin bilang isang city youth councilor dito sa loob ng konseho dito sa Naga City, Consi?
So, for me po, lahat naman ng naging moments ko, lahat ng naging activities and events ng under ng Naga City Youth Officials Program, memorable yan for me. Especially during the 45 days internship period nung between June until July. So we would often sa loob naman ng konseho, we would often attend 2 sessions per week. Yung isang session doon, joint sessions with the regular members, and yung pangalawang session would be on the city youth level sessions. Kami din yung city youth official na tinatawag na transition period kasi kami yung city youth officials na may dalawa pang members ng sanggunian, dalawang government na nakapag-work kami with. Like for example, yung first counterpart ko under the 14th Sangguniang Panlungsod was Councilor Doc Jess Albius. So yun nung nag-oath taking na yung mga newly elected officials nung I think June 30 ata yun. Ang counselor ko na nun, ang counterpart ko na nun si Consi Elmer Valdemoro. So yun, sa city youth level sessions naman, yun na din yung naging platform namin para yung mga youth level legislations naman namin would be presented, deliberated, and debated in the plenary. Memorable yan for me since may mga moments na everyone in my colleague at the City Youth Sangguniang Panlungsod level would have a say in each and every provisions na nakalagay dun sa kung ano man yung proposed legislations mo. There are also instances na pati yung punctuations na lang ng kada word and kada grammar, i-amend nila yan if it's not up to their standards. But nevertheless, Sir Kier, it is not a problem since gusto naman namin sa City Youth Sangguniang Panlungsod level na yung mga youth legislations, meron ng legislations yung mga kabataan dito sa city na hindi lang makakasagot sa pangangailangan but also ito din yung mga legislations na mas maiintindahan nila in a words na kaya naming ma-express to aid of legislation. So yun lang naman yun sa akin, yung pinaka-memorable moments ko as a city youth official.
Opo, iyon. Pero dito, Sir Gian, sa loob ng mahaba-haba na rin na panahon na tayo ay naging city councilor, ano ba, sir, yung yung mga programa and even proyekto na naisulong na natin para sa mga kabataan po ng Naga City, Consi?
Organization-wise, Sir Kier, madaming naging projects yung city youth officials this year. Like for example, may mga programs kami. Like for instance, nag-host kami yung organizations namin ng kite, yung kite making contest festival dun sa Kararayan City Lights yesterday and last Friday, last Saturday. So, isa yun sa mga youth-led and youth-serving initiatives ng Naga City Youth officials. Pero unfortunately, for my own personality, hindi po ako nakapag-propose or nakapagsulong ng mga programs, projects, and activities for the youth. Although, again, parte siya ng mandato at obligations namin as city youth officials. And kasi the reason why hindi ako nakapag-propose is that nag-focus ako sa legislative side, sa legislative responsibilities ko naman as a city youth councilor. And dyan talaga sa role ko na yan ang pinagtuunan ko ng pansin even during the 45 days internship period and afterwards. Dyan ako nag-focus. Pinagtuunan ko ng pansin yung role na yan kasi I have with me the thought that I have to live up to the expectations kung sino man yung nanonood, sino man yung nagsusubaybay sa amin as CYO. Yan naman yung regret ko na hindi ako nakapag-propose ng mga programs. And I told myself na the projects that I intended for the youth of Naga would be realized through the Naga City Scholars Guild. Since these projects would be a form of return of service of the city scholars to the community and also to the city, to help the city rather. Regardless, okay na ako. I am content with what I have accomplished naman as a city youth official. Hindi naman sukdulan, hindi naman katapusan yung mga regrets or mga pagsisisi, but I will be taking it as a form of mistake that I ought or kukunan ko ng lessons throughout my term as the president rather of the Naga City Scholars Guild. So yun po.
Okay, yun. Pero dito sir, sa pagiging public servant natin, Consi Gian, ano yung mga kino-consider natin, sir, as siguro mga challenge or hamon na kinakaharap natin sa paghatid natin ng serbisyo sa mga constituent natin, lalo na sa mga kabataan dito sa Naga, Sir Gian?
So para po sa akin, one of the most significant challenge na kinakaharap ng mga youth leaders and also the youth alike, youth leaders like me, is the varying needs of the youth. Yung pagkakaiba-ibang pangangailangan ng kabataan. Kabataang na ganyan rather. In this system po, hindi po ma-apply yung one size fits all na solution. We cannot really conclude that whatever we feel the solution for the problem in a sector could work for every member of that sector. So, may mga kabataan na ang problema ay sa edukasyon, yung accessibility ng internet connectivity sa kanila or internet access rather. Habang yung ibang kabataan naman ay umaharap sa issue ng mental health or kakulangan sa pagtrabaho. Aside from those issues, challenge din sa amin as youth leaders yung participation and yung commitment ng ilang kabataan na maging active and knowledgeable sa mga programs, yung mga projects and activities na pinoprovide ng city government para sa kanila. Those are at least the few of the challenges that I am sure na kinakaharap ng hindi lang ako but also by other leaders that wanted nothing but to help then alleviate these aforementioned challenges and concerns faced by our youth. So yan po, yung one size fits all solution, hindi na po yun applicable sa sistema natin nowadays, and yung lacking ng participation ng youth of the city sa mga programs. So yan po yung nakikita kong problems and when it comes to delivering services to the youth.
Okay po, iyon. So ito, Sir Gian, maisingit ko lang na katanungan. Kasi may mga nagpapatanong din, yung mga hindi nakakaalam. Ano ba sir yung pagkakaiba ng, yun nga, yung City Youth Councilor compare dito sa mga councilor natin sa Naga? Sir, para lang sa kaalaman ng ating mga audience, Sir Gian.
So, first of all, ang pagkakaiba is yung age. Like most of our counselors here in Naga, syempre may edad na sila. They have with them the wisdom. They have with them the experiences that uh, made them be elected as representatives of some sectors in our city. So sa City Youth naman, unlike sa pagiging elected official rather for the city government, ang City Youth official po is rather a appointive system. Appointive in the fact na although appointed siya, we still or the system is still competitive when it comes to application processes. Last month po we had the qualifying applications for the next batch of the Naga City Youth Officials Program for the year 2026, and isa din yun sa mga machinery na para mas malaman namin like kung may ensure pa ba namin, masusustain pa ba ng program yung student or youth participation when it comes to the program. So I can safe to say po, I am confident to say na although medyo maliit yung population na nag-apply sa amin this year, we would carry on. The City Youth Officials program will carry on, and I pray na it would carry on after the 2026 batch. So, yun po yung varying difference ng pagiging City Youth Councilor sa pagiging regular member of the Sangguniang Panlungsod. And another pa po dyan, Sir Kier, is that we cannot really pass legislations on our own kasi hindi po kami mandated na, for example, wala po talaga kaming individual or autonomous power na makapag-pass ng legislations on our own. We would always need the help of our counterparts, for example, for proofreading to make sure na yung mga legislations namin would actually be as effective as we want them to be. And if may mga concerns naman when it comes to legal provisions, kung may mga unconstitutional provisions yung mga ordinance namin, may mga authorities naman sa City Hall that would help us identify those. Kasi like for example, the City Legal Office, they would help us identify those unconstitutional provisions. But nevertheless, I never encountered that type of problems naman. I carried on as a City Youth officials. I have passed many resolutions. I have passed 5 ordinances, and I am proud talaga na I became part of this program to serve the public interest, to serve the youth, and to serve the sector that I have focused my time, my power, and I have focused myself on during my term. So yun po, Sir Kier.
Okay po. Dito naman na konsi sa sa isa pa nating parang title ito, yung Naga City Scholars Guild President-elect. Paano kayo dito, sir, napili? Ano to, sir? Pinadaan ba to sa election din?
Yes po. Yes, sir. Yes, Sir Kier. Pinadaan po yan sa election. So, yung Naga City Scholars Guild po is a machinery under the Naga Tertiary Scholarship Program to enact and to empower scholars of the City of Naga when it comes to personal development and also, again, the return of service to the city. Yun. So, yan po yung naging responsibilities rather or the specialty ng Naga City Scholars Guild. We are here to not only to become yung parang maging privileged sectors ng system, hindi po kami nandito para kumuha lang ng pera ng gobyerno and ng taxpayers, but we are here to also commit ourselves to the service of the community for all Nagueño, to the benefit of all Nagueño. So yun po ang aking experiences as a Naga City Scholars Guild President-elect.
Okay po, iyon. Pero dito, Konsi Gian, paano nyo, sir, ito isusunod ko yung katanungan na ito. Paano nyo, sir, na titiyak or sinisiguro na yung ating mga ginagawa para sa ating mga constituent or yung ating, sabi nga, boses, naririnig talaga, nakararating talaga sa ating mga nasasakupan, lalo na sa mga kabataan ngayon, Sir Gian?
So, when it comes to that po, kung paano natin may ensure na talagang um, part ng decision-making process, ng policy-making process yung mga youth, yung mga voices ng youth and mga concerns, at least in my practice po, during the 45 days internship period, most often, wala ako sa City Hall, wala ako sa office ko when it's not session days. Because most often, nasa labas ako niyan, doing consultations with the sectors. That is the primary concern of my latest legislation draft. I have with me the premise po kasi I have with me the belief that if we have a solid community experience-based data to back our claims as provided in this proposed legislations rather than relying on our feelings or our gut feelings, yung ano lang, mga tamang hinala, I believe that we can establish a solid framework talaga to ensure or to masiguro lang na naririnig ang kanilang mga hinaing, naririnig yung mga suggestions nila and their sentiments during not only the committee hearings and during sessions. For short po, I'm just trying to be true to the city's principle of participative governance. Naniniwala din ako na wala sa akin yung kasagutan, wala sa akin yung solutions sa mga problema na kinakaharap ng mga constituents. But rather, I consider myself as a manpower, as the manpower for them to become the vessel of their solutions. Because these solutions to their problems can be found within them. Nasa kanila lang yung solutions. And we do not have to rely on ourselves to guess kung ano yung one-size-fits-all solution. Because once again, yung one-size-fits-all solution, hindi na talaga siya applicable nowadays. So, the most important aspect siguro ng pagiging city youth official is that you are now given the privilege and the mandate to serve the people kahit invisible ka. And through that, you're at the very top of the hierarchy. And again, you have to gradually go down to step into their shoes, to experience their lives, to breathe the same air that they breathe. And through that system, talagang makakapag-build tayo ng mga legislations na talagang suitable and tailored for them. So, yung po, talagang participative governance for me is very important, as well as consultations with them. So, yun po.
Okay, yun. Pero dito, Konsi, nung kayo ay nagsisimula pa lang bilang isang City Youth Councilor, hindi naman kayo, sir, nahirapan na balansehin yung oras para dito and para sa ating personal. Halimbawa, kung tayo ay nag-aaral pa noon, hindi naman naapektuhan, sir, yung ating pag-aaral. O kung tayo ay nagtatrabaho noong mga panahon na bago pa tayo sa larangang ito, hindi naman naapektuhan, sir, yung ating work, Sir Gian.
Fortunately po sa amin, yung Naga City Youth Officials Program, nang nag-start kami, vacation namin before ako mag-transition sa college. Pero, yes po, nahirapan po ako during my first days rather, kung ano yung mga parliamentary procedures, kung ano yung mga motions to make when it comes to when you are in the plenary. Kasi po, again, I have no prior experiences when it comes to the legislative side of the nature ng being a city youth councilor. Because I started off as a journalist sa UNC. I was the managing editor of the Pantograph in Malaya, and from there, I really find it hard. I found it hard to transition into first becoming a journalist, then transition to becoming a city youth councilor. Mahirap po siya. And for me, I heavily rely on a strict schedule lang para hindi mag-collapse din yung personal system ko. Naka-time block talaga yung mga schedules ko, yung mga araw ko, and I do this deliberately para hindi ma-compromise or mapabayaan yung academics or personal life ko naman. Kasi for me, naka-focus pa din yung priority ko pa din is yung school. Pero at the same time, I have to make sure na nadi-deliver ko ng maayos at may quality yung mga duties and responsibilities ko sa as a city youth official. Pagsabayin ang school deadlines at this point, kasi at this point, city youth official pa din ako, pinasasabay ko na lang yung deadlines and public service demands. Kasi it's no joke for me. Kaya every single minute really counts. Every single seconds pa nga. Kaya hindi na pwede dito yung bahala na or yung manyana habit or go with the flow attitude. Lalo na pag humihirap yung situation dahil as a city youth councilor, again, wala naman akong staff or team na umasikaso ng mga bagay-bagay for me and walang pwedeng pag-delegatan ng mga tasks. So from groundwork talaga, from admin duties, from councilor duties hanggang sa execution ng legislation sa session hall, sa akin lahat yon, sa amin lahat yon. And it requires talaga extreme disciplines and focus kasi kapag may na-miss akong isang details when it comes to that legislations, walang ibang sasalo nun kundi ako rin. And I have to be, at that point, I have to be my own manager, I have to be my own assistant, and I have to be my personal executor all at once. Dahil, again, mag-isa ko lang na hinaharap yung demands ng school at work, rather. And what really keeps me sane is the unconditional support ng family ko. Naiintindihan nila yung demanding at exhausting nature ng situation ko ngayon and they don't make me feel guilty kapag hindi ako nakakapag-attend ng mga family-related events or hindi ako or palagi akong busy nowadays. But instead, they give me the grace, they give me the patience and the support both emotionally and mentally that I needed in my venture. So, sila yung nagiging parang pahinga ko para patuloy ako makapag-focus at maiwasan ko yung burnout. Because this counselor, joke lang this counselor is no girlfriend since birth. So family lang talaga. Family lang ang nasasandalan ko, family lang ang napagsasabihan ko ng mga problems ko and through them I make it out of the burnout that is provided for or rather na nare-receive ko from both academics and my work as a city youth official. So yun po, Sir Kier.
Okay po. Eto Sir Consi Gian, mga remaining question na lang. May plan ba tayo, Sir, na tumakbo sa mga higher position like yung councilor talaga, mga or pagiging mayor, mga ganun. Maybe sometime, Sir Gian.
As a matter of fact, Sir Kier, wala pa akong aspirations for elective positions na the same words, hindi po umiinit yung upuan ko as president of the Naga City Scholars Guild, so I find it very difficult for me to foresee if there is a place for me in a local or even municipal level of politics. But I am not disclosing the idea since I still have with me the thought na public service is a public trust and a public service is the machinery of the public to better serve their interest and to better serve the interest and to benefit them. So maybe in the future, Sir Kier, pag tapos na ako sa academics and tapos na din ako sa pagiging president ko as Naga City Scholars Guild president, I'm not disclosing the fact na possible yan, pero as of this moment, paparating na yung BSKE and common questions na din yung kung tatakbo ko as SK or tatakbo ako dito sa barangay namin as a barangay councilor. Pero I enjoy the clamor, I enjoy their attention, pero I still have to focus on my studies, on myself, and on my family. Lalo na at masyadong against dyan si Mama. Si Mama lang talaga yung masyadong against. Si Papa, chill lang si Papa as long as na hindi ko daw pabayaan yung studies ko, as long as hindi ko mapabayaan ang sarili ko, sige lang. But si Mama, si Mama yung pinakaunang first person na magiging basher ko if ever papasok ako sa politics. So, yun po. But I am not disclosing the fact na papasok ako dyan, but the time is not now. So, yun po.
Opo, iyon. Ito, Consi Gian, mula nang tayo ay maging city youth councilor or maging public servant na in general, ano sir yung napansin niyo na nagbago, kung meron man, sa buhay natin, Sir Gian?
Ang mga naging observable changes po sa akin is that I am a talkative person. I am more talkative than I was before, and I guess I have more connections that I have before. I have more knowledge in the system of governance that exists within the city. So when it comes to my personality and character, I remain the same. I remain grounded, I remain friendly, and I remain to whoever Gian was before the city youth councilorship. So yung pong mga technical skills ata ang nagbago sa akin, like the writing skills, the public speaking skills, because my counterparts would often bring me with him to do some public speaking. So yun po, I have developed a keen interest in politics. I have developed a keen interest in public service. I have improved my public speaking skills, and aside from that, but aside from all of that, I remained the same. Ako pa din yung Gian talaga na journalist. Ako pa din yung Gian na masyadong ma-opinion na tao during my time as a JHS, sa high schooler sa UNC. Ako pa din yun. Ang nagbago lang talaga is that I entered the system of which I disdained talaga. So I think I became part of the system because the system is so unfair now that some of the vulnerables and members of the marginalized sectors are being left out. So yun po. Yun yung changes talaga na nangyari sa akin. But not entirely my personality and character. So yun po.
Okay po. So ito sir, bago tayo magtapos konsi, ano na lang ang inyong maiiwan na mensahe sa mga gusto ring maging katulad nyo
Yes.
na public servant sa murang edad? And maybe sometimes siguro sa mga hindi naniniwala sa atin, ano yung ating masasabi or mensahe sa kanila, Sir Gian? Go ahead po.
So I think the lesson or the simple advice that I could give to the fellow youth of the city of Naga is that don't be afraid to start. Huwag kayong matakot magsimula. I know it can be intimidating, lalo na kapag feeling mo that you don't have the enough experience, you don't have the enough credentials yet to be part of the program. Pero ang katotohanan po niyan, Sir Kier, the truth is, hindi mo talaga kailangan maging perfect or maging pinakamagaling sa session hall man yan or sa field of public service para lang makapaglingkod. You don't need to have all the answers right away when you get asked the question. Ang pinaka-foundation nito is that you have the pure intentions and genuine heart for para sa kapwa mo. Technical skills, Sir Kier, can be learned and the systems can be studied. Pero yung totoong malasakit and empathy, that has to come from within you. That exists inherently within us. And I started as a managing editor for the Pantograph and Malaya. I started there, and I started with what I have. And yet, yan po, start where you are and with what you have. And as you step siguro in your leadership and as you promote your advocacies, always remind yourself to keep your eyes open. Always be observing, laging mapanuri. And because in our political climate that exists within our country now, we don't just have to accept what is happening. We don't just have to accept the status quo, but rather we are given the right, we have given the freedom to question things kapag alam mong hindi na ito nakakabuti sa majority ng community or sa nakakarami. Also, you have to be firm. Dapat panindigan mo yung kung anong tama, even when it's hard, even when it's mahirap, inconvenient for some, or unpopular for the majority. You just have to have the integrity as a public servant. Also, at the same time, you always have to keep your ears open and you have to always have your feet close to the ground. Always be grounded at this point. Kasi you have to always hear yung mga taong paglilingkuran mo, pinaglilingkuran mo rather. You cannot serve, one leader cannot serve effectively kung out of touch sila sa realities ng nakararami. Let their stories and their struggles became your compass when it comes to decision making. And finally, we all have to remember this, that public service, it's not all about the title, it's not all about the clout, the popularity, and the privilege and power. Rather, public service is not about sitting in a position of privilege and power. Rather, it is public service is a heavy but fulfilling commitment. Public service for me, it's all about being a symbol of hope, the machinery of hope, the manpower of hope, and translating their hope, the hope of your constituents into pragmatic, into real, and tangible and actions. Dapat nakikita nila, dapat nararamdaman nila na talagang may pagbabago in their environment, in their lives. Being a public servant, it's about showing up every single day, doing the hard work, and building what seems to be the better future for all of the community. So yun po para sa akin, Sir Kiat.